Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Hello, hello. Okay, looks like my sound is working. Is anybody out there? Is my sound working? I'm so sorry. It's now telling me that my sound is on. Yes. Oh my gosh. Sorry. What the heck? I think it was just like really, really slow. So, anyway, sorry. We only have like 15 minutes before the announcement today, but hey, we are on. What's going on? What's going yeah, so I did have like 65 people on here and now I don't. That's okay. I am just happy to meet with whoever is here. Mm. Chicago, how are you? What's going on? What's going on? Summer. It is. I would switch my camera, but I'm not going to do that. um, so that you can see how cold and rainy it is here today. So, hi from Waikato, hi from Chicago. Where are the rest of you? I had some Auckland and some Invercargill, and um, yeah, sorry. I'm going to blame the Hutt Valley internet. That's what I'm going to do. Um, yes, we're all working hard today, but I was like, oh, I don't know. I have been meaning to try a YouTube live, and since everybody is home in New Zealand anyway, and I guess in the States because it would be the evening. Yeah, I thought we would chat. Hi from Kapiti Coast, North Island, Auckland. Hey, Stephen. Mm, mm. Timaru, Florida. Melbourne. How are you? You guess you guys are you guys still locked down? I have lost all realization of everything because it's always so much. So anyway, good to have like 32 of you here. That's so great. Yeah, sorry. I'm really good with technology. Typically, I am the IT hardware person at most organizations, so I'm not an idiot when it comes to it. It's just I don't know why. Everything was lined up the way that I had planned, and then it just wasn't working. So I think it was just a delay. So, how is everyone? Are we happy about the lockdown, or are we feeling frustrated about the lockdown? I personally like, a Brazilian living in New Zealand for 17 years. Were you a Brazilian dancer? Like, were you a Brazilian? You know, I always think they're so cool. Sorry. That was my little Brazilian dance. You're welcome. Yeah, so I think that the lockdown will be 7 days now that it's confirmed that it's Delta. But do I know? I don't know. Yeah, technology is wonderful when it works. Yeah, so my whole family gets excited about lockdown because we all get to be together. My daughter is at Otago University and is coming back now tomorrow. She was scheduled to come back next Friday, so this is all good news for us. And it just is great to like slow down. So New Zealand is so great with their work-life balance, but as an American here, I'm still not good at it, to be honest. I work a lot, so hiya, hiya. So it's just when someone just says you can't do anything, you can't get together with anybody, nothing is open, it just makes all my decisions easy. So we just hang out. It's good. So that's what I'm going to do. Lots of work to do, trying some new things, hence the live. Like I've been dying to go live, but I just don't have any time. And today, just like everything, I was speaking at an event today, which, if I'm going to be honest, wasn't really ready for. No audio in the UK. Oh, sorry. I don't know what to say. Long lines at KFC. Yes, I did run through McDonald's, got some nugs at like 9 p.m. for the family because we just like to do a nug run every once in a while. And since it's going to be closed, um, how anything gets done, Kiwi's locked out. I know, right? Yeah, so my rubbish guy came, so that's nice. I did go to the food store last night because I needed to anyway, and I felt a little bit like I had more free time, but I wasn't thinking about all the crazy people that would be there. But let me tell you guys, it was so funny because I got to see some funny stuff last night. The line, I'm going to post a YouTube, what am I going to do? A YouTube short. I was just working on it. I will post it in a few minutes. Um, after this is done, um, hey Lex. Um, to show you, so the line at the food store, and like I just saw some crazy stuff, and I didn't videotape it because I didn't really realize it was happening when it was happening. Okay, so this guy in the line, so I'm in the line, so the line is so like here's the checkout, right? The line went all the way to the back of the store, then all the way around, and then all the way. It was so long. So I'll send a short to you about that. So it's pretty funny. Um, oh gosh. Hi from Lower Hutt. Sorry, I'm just get distracted. I need to talk. Okay. So this guy in front of me, he has this huge thing of toilet paper. I'm not joking. Like I can't believe I don't have this on video. And a lady comes up to him and she was like, "Hey, you can't buy all that toilet paper, one per person." And he's like, "It is one," because what it was the 4 pack of toilet paper, but in like, like where they shipped it and it was put in a big bag, in a bigger bag of like 10 or 20 of them. So it was still in a bag, but it was like, I don't know, because everybody was restocking shelves so much and all the restock stuff was out. And so I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, okay. And she's like, is this what you would normally buy for your family? And he was like, yes. She's like, no, it's not happening. She took the thing and she gave him one. It was so great. So there was no meat, no dairy. Like, I mean, okay, there's cream. You couldn't get any milk. There was no, what was it? Bread. There was no flour. There's no, there's sugar. There's a couple of sugars left. Um, it'll all be restocked. Nobody needs to worry in New Zealand. That's not what I'm saying. It was fascinating because I couldn't get any bread. So we're eating wraps this week. So, no big deal. You just adjust, right? So it was like, but literally no bread. And like, I couldn't get a part. I don't know. Like, I was just already out of everything. I actually needed to get toilet paper. So you can see because I have one roll left in the house and there's 5 of us, almost 6 of us here. So kind of need toilet paper. So yay for rubbish still being picked up. Girl, do you guys have that thing? Because I have that thing about the rubbish. Like I just want you to take it. I want it to go. I love rubbish day. But yeah, they came. Um, I know. So we're like locked down for like 3 days here in Wellington. People are freaking out. Although probably because we all know it's going to be longer than that. Because really the last lockdown, I had bought flour like ahead of the lockdown just because I do a lot of baking. So I happened to have bought it, but then it was sold out the entire time of lockdown. So I think that that's what people are thinking. And, you just can't always control human behavior as Jacinda said yesterday. So the live report is coming up soon. Should we watch it together? That would be kind of fun. How do I get on it on my computer? TVNZ, can I get it live? Or I think it was like on Stuff, I can get it live. Oh, middle of moving house and you live in the Coromandel. Do I think Jacinda made the right decision? I have to say that I think this was my family's reaction. We are all moving to level 4. We all went, the whole country's moving to level 4. Like it was just like, I don't think that we expected that. Yeah, we can't hide from it forever, but we don't have a significant portion of our population vaccinated. So all of these kind of things come into play. But man, I mean, if you were this person, oh my gosh, or that, what is that limousine driver or whatever in Australia? Jeez. I don't know. Like, I don't know. So yeah, do I know? Do I think it's the right decision? I'm just glad it's not for me to make. That's where I'm at. Not easy to do. Yeah, we were just like, wait a minute. Did she just say the whole country? Because you totally expected that possibly in Auckland, but wow. Okay, so everything's normal in Melbourne now. No more supermarket rush. Um, the lockdown in Sydney is a joke. Okay. So my research assistant is, excuse me, partner is was stuck in the lockdown in Sydney, and he was the fly back today, and I'm like, oh my gosh, are you going to be able to get on the plane because you need to be here? Because so what's 23%? What are you talking about? Oh, I see. I see. 20% have their second shot so far. Yeah, it's just not enough people. And I think that that's why, like, are we more susceptible because we've had like literally no exposure to COVID? I don't know. They talked about that. Did you watch that? Like it was last week and they had like a whole morning of doctors telling their thoughts on it, what we should do, and just like an open kind of discussion. And that was really interesting, kind of touching on all of it. Our problem is like my youngest is 10. So like can't even get vaccinated. So can we even, even think about traveling if that ever happens? Hello from Indiana. That's so cool. Boy, we have a lot of people on here. Like I have not done this. I've generally only gone live on TikTok. If you don't follow me on TikTok, check it out. And yeah. So, do I miss the Midwest? I think I'm in 3. Okay. Anti-vaxxers and panic buyers. Well, I honestly was there because I had some free time now that everything was going to shut down, and I needed some food, and I'm really glad I went. Like I hate going to the food store, so I almost just like saw the crowd and just like drove out. But then I was like, this could make interesting. It was interesting. You can't make this stuff up. You got to be there to see it. Home renovations on the list this time? No, I'm a renter. So no. We can get organized. That's what we can do, but that's it. Okay. So I have another screen here. Let me see if she's coming on live soon. Yeah, here we go. Live, Jacinda and Ashley. I work with Ashley Bloomfield's brother. There's my connection. Okay, so do you guys have this up? Can you get it up? Could I show it on here? Probably not going to do that. I'll just react to it. How about that? Okay, let's see if my internet will let me do both. Ooh, look at me. It's struggling. Okay, so she's not there yet. So I have it on mute and we can all watch it together because, yesterday was quite late. So yeah, so if you are anybody like a shop owner or somebody that owns like a small, I don't know, like a restaurant that has to close during this time, like what do you guys do like with your extra food? Yeah, like I was like, oh, we should like go and buy food from them to yesterday. Just kind of all happened so fast. We had go to YouTube News. Are you saying because then I can watch the live there? I don't know. I'm afraid to mess it up. From the smallest country in the world. What's the smallest country in the world? Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see what she has to say. So, were you able to hear it when I had turned it on a minute ago? Yeah, it's true. They will have 20 minutes of nothing. Okay, so can you hear this when I turn this on? Can you hear this? Can you hear that? I'll turn it down. Here we go. Because I got to be able to hear what she's saying, but I think that you can probably hear that since it's all the same speaker. Um, Ooh, stay safe if you're in the Coromandel. Yep. Oh, that's cool. Domino's is filling the community pantry with their extra food. That's great. That's great. Because I don't know how like it affects people's jobs and yeah, people are excited about lockdown. Yes. Lockdown is so anyway, let's talk about stuff while we wait. Um have you guys tried my American recipe book? Hello. I made it for you guys. So if you're in New Zealand, Australia, I made a recipe book of everybody's recommended favorite recipes that they wanted me to show them how to make. And I've adjusted it to Australia, New Zealand temperatures and ways and ingredients because you kind of have to adapt a little bit to make it taste right. And so if you're interested in that, it's on my website, kiwiamericans.com. Just click the shop button and it's right at the top. And so that's really cool. So check that out. It's only $8. It's an ebook. You're getting quite a bit for $8 if you ask me. And all of the reviews that I've gotten from people have been like, we love this. This is amazing. But a lot of them are too shy to post a picture for me. Yeah, it's a good time to start cooking. You're in lockdown. You have all the time in the world. So, okay, is this live happening? Okay. Puppy chow. Oh my gosh, puppy chow. I should have. So basically, what happened is I got so many requests for recipes. I could not put all of them in there, but I think I have enough for like if you guys like this book, if it sells well for me, I will put the effort in to do another one, and it'll be like baking because I have so much baking. Because there's so much that I didn't realize that you guys don't make here, like angel food cake and like a lot of peanut butter type recipes, peanut butter balls and scotcheroos and maybe I'll share. I put in one of my grandmother's recipes that are amazing in that recipe book that you have. So some of the recipes that are in there, Chicago style deep dish pizza, and I have figured out how to taste. It tastes right and it tastes amazing. So check that one out. A real Philly cheesesteak like they have at Pat's Steakhouse in Philadelphia. Gosh, a real American cheeseburger, right? Like this is how you should make it because they don't make it the way that you would in the let's see, real soft chocolate chip cookies, sloppy joes, some Mexican food. Yeah, so check it out. So kiwiamericans.com and shop for that if you want that. No big deal if you're not a cook. I'm just saying it's there if you want it. And if you are a small business, I am about to come out with a free small business TikTok class to help you guys get up on TikTok because you are missing out if you are not on TikTok. So that's a little heads up. I haven't actually got that formally advertised, but coming up. Gosh, what else? Okay, I am going to upload my YouTube video for this week early. It will be Friday, and it's a Tara Christie one. And it's good. It's a bit long, so bear with me. But we actually talk about like I should have probably broke it up into multiple videos, but we talked about different like what it's like working in Wisconsin right now because it's interesting because they're giving away free money, so people aren't working in Wisconsin, and so people are offering like $1,000 bonuses to get a job at Taco Bell because they can't find enough employees or starting to have to shut down various parts of their business. It's very interesting. So that will actually be airing at 7:00 on Friday, this Friday. I'm just going to do it earlier because I'm done with it. And then in September, we're coming out with the Tara Christie show. So make sure that you message me your ideas on topics you'd want us to do. I have lots of ideas, but I would like to know. You want Butterfingers? You have to go to the American Shop, the USTU in Wellington, or the Martha's Pantry. Both of them are online, so you can see if they have it. Actually, USTU has a cool feature where you can say, let me know when you have it available, and they'll let you know. So, okay, so yeah, restaurant jobs. Nobody wants to work. So there's people in the US that are saying that it's very interesting. And so we kind of talk through all those issues and like what people are dealing with. Like it's crazy. Like even a lot of small businesses have to shut down because they can't find workers, and because basically what's happening is like there's always like the welfare option, and it's different by state, so you can't talk in general. But like they give you money, but now they're giving you money on top of that, and they're not requiring you to show that you're applying for work or that you've been to X amount of interviews this week. So it's basically free money, and it's summertime in Wisconsin, so people are like, I'm just going to enjoy the summer. I'm not going to work. Meanwhile, all these businesses are just, yeah, so interesting what we think about that. Did anyone get a million messages last night because of level 4? Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, Culver's offered a $1,500 signing bonus. Are you kidding me? So Culver's would be like an upscale, if you don't know, if you're in New Zealand or Australia, an upscale fast food restaurant, and $1,500. It's like, my teenagers would love to be working there, especially for $1,500 US dollars. So man, it's like you want to get the economy running, but like can't get anybody to work. Okay, sorry. Wouldn't want to work at Culver's. Why wouldn't you want to work at Culver's? Seems like a nice place. I don't know. Oh. Yeah. So is it just restaurant industry where people aren't willing to work? I mean, it seems like that's the case, but that makes sense. So yeah. So send me like what topics you want me and Christy to talk about, because we're excited about this show for you. So yeah, so I've also heard, so I did a lot of reading on it, and so this is just my reading. This isn't like firsthand experience. Obviously, I'm not in the US, but people that like work for tips or like bartenders, a lot of them are moving to like working at Quick Trip, which is like, again, a petrol station for all of you that don't know, because they're getting paid a lot more per hour. And it's just like guaranteed. It's not like they like the job, but it's different. Oh, they're live. Okay. Oh, that's weird. Thank you. Thank you for saying that, because on my screen it doesn't look live. I will have to refresh.
Second is what we have learned overnight and this morning about the current outbreak and any new cases or locations of interest.
Can you hear it?
The third is the rule around mask wearing. And finally, we'll finish up with an update on when we'll be restarting vaccinations.
Oh, shoot.
Firstly, you'll all know how important it is to try as much as possible to confirm where an outbreak actually started. One of the reasons we are all in lockdown, and not just Auckland or the Coromandel, those places of interest, is because we haven't yet answered that question of where it started.
If you need to go, no problem.
Overnight, we undertook what is called genome sequencing of the positive case we have. The reason that's important is because every case we have that comes through our managed isolation facilities, we put through that same process, which means that if we have a case in the community, we can potentially use genome sequencing to match it and hopefully find the chain. The results that have come back from our case yesterday tell us two things. First, that we are dealing with the Delta variant. The second thing it tells us is that it has linked the current genome sequencing of cases in the New South Wales outbreak. Our case has originated in Australia.
Really?
And now the job we have is to work through how and when it got here. The natural place to start is to look at our managed isolation facilities. We have had 3 positive cases from Sydney in our managed isolation facilities since 1 July. One detected on the 9th of August on their day 1 test, and 2 on the 14th of August on their day 3 test. Positive cases from our managed isolation facilities are, as a matter of course, batched, and then we genome sequence them weekly. So these cases are currently being genome sequenced as we speak, and we expect the results later tonight to tell us if they are a match or not a match. I can confirm that for every other case we have had at the border, which is sequenced already, there are no matches to this case. We have also started other lines of inquiry.
What does that
Just to
mean?
recap, we closed the border to Australia on the 23rd of July. Every passenger had requirements on them before they entered New Zealand in the 1 week window we gave New Zealanders to return. As you'll remember, New South Wales had to stay put until we could bring people into our managed isolation facilities. Travellers from Victoria had to have 2 tests, one before they departed and one after 3 days in isolation when they returned. I can report that everyone was compliant with those requirements. And for everyone else from other parts of Australia, they had to have a negative test.
So if you are not in New Zealand, this is how we get updates on COVID.
Now,
1
despite
p.m.
that,
every
we
day
are
from the Prime
drawing down
Minister.
a list of all travellers from
So
Australia
this is why we're watching.
into New Zealand through that period, in preparation to contact them again, should we find that this case is not linked to the current cases that we have in our managed isolation facilities. That, of course, is on top of the normal contact tracing we undertake around our cases. Can, of course, confirm that, for instance, the family members
I know,
of
interesting,
current
not
cases
not
will
from
be
the border.
tested, including any who indicate that they have travelled to
weird.
Australia.
Does someone swim?
As you can hear, there is more work to be done to help piece together this puzzle. Our hope is we will have more information to share when we report back tomorrow. But as you can hear already, we have really important information, and our ability to narrow down that this is a case that is linked to the New South Wales outbreak gives us a lot of leads to chase down as quickly as we can. I'll now hand over to Dr. Bloomfield for an update.
So I don't think we're going to
Prime
get a
Minister.
change
Kia ora
in
koutou katoa. So,
days
some
today.
further information building on what the PM has said. Further to the 5 cases reported earlier today, there are now a further 2 cases of COVID-19 to report in the community, our total now being 7 cases, all of whom
7.
are in the process of being transferred safely to the Auckland quarantine facility under
I
strict
feel like I just want to
infection
fix that
control
little
procedures.
flyby in the back.
Separately, in our managed isolation facility, there are a further 3 cases to report today, and the details of them will be in today's statement from the Ministry. Turning further to now to the community cases. Our first case, we will call Case A, that was announced yesterday. The other 4 cases announced earlier today include a work colleague of our original case, that's a 20-year-old male. There are 3 flatmates of that case, a 21-year-old female who is a fully vaccinated health professional that works at Auckland City Hospital and has been working in recent days. And as you'll be aware, there are measures underway to respond to that. There is a 25-year-old female teacher from an Auckland high school, that is Avondale College, and that college has been contacted, and the community
You said
will
it,
be
Tom.
receiving specific information.
Yeah, I don't think we're going
about,
to get
what
actual
to do
updates
to,
on the 3
follow
days
up
or the 7
testing
days.
and
What do you
isolation,
think?
Of course, for anyone who may have been in contact with that person. And the other flatmate is a 29-year-old male.
You got to feel bad for him.
There are
He's gotta
2
be
further
tired. This
cases
is
that I'm
like
just
a lot of
announcing,
work.
a 21-year-old female and a 19-year-old male, both of whom live in Auckland, and both who are linked to the current cases as friends.
Oh
and who
no,
have
we were
spent
right next
time
door to that
with one or
college.
other of those other cases. So in total, we have these 7 cases that are all linked. We are, of course, as I mentioned, concerned about the healthcare worker who worked 4 shifts while unknowingly
Healthcare
potentially
worker and
infectious.
uni student.
Auckland City Hospital was onto this last evening and took immediate actions in response, including
No, a high school
preventing
student. I
unnecessary
believe.
movement of staff between wards, extensive testing of staff and of patients on the ward where this person worked, and of course preventing staff members who worked the same shift from coming into work and they are isolating and being tested. The wife of our original case, as reported yesterday, and who is fully vaccinated, has returned a second.
Ooh, Alberta,
test
Canada,
response.
500 cases daily.
On contact tracing, our public health teams around the country are supporting rapid
Okay.
interview of cases, identifying close contacts, tracing those contacts to ensure they're in isolation and getting tested. Isolation when in alert level 4 means isolating separately from other household members. So they've been supported to do that. As at 11 a.m, Auckland Regional Public Health, our ARPS service, has identified 16 close contacts. 14 of them have already been contacted, and the other 2 are being tracked down. Just talking to the clinical director of the public health unit in the last hour or so.
Yeah, that's
no
true,
issues with
Sheldon.
Compliance, people are easily contactable. and
How
are
so- how-
doing what
How in
we
advance
expect
can you
of
book the
them.
MIQs? I'm
Alert
not
level
sure.
4.
I haven't tried, so.
Those who have been contacted are isolating and testing being arranged at the appropriate time. 4 of those contacts, it is known, are fully vaccinated. 3 have had 1 dose of the vaccine. and
So
remain
people that are fully
vaccinated.
vaccinated, like the healthcare worker,
Reflecting that we have
can
a
still
group of
spread it.
individuals here who are under 30 and therefore would not have been part of the wider rollout of the
Oh, hi,
vaccination
welcome.
program
Thank you
as
for
planned.
watching. We're all
Activating
watching
our
the
planned
live
additional capacity for
1
contact
p.m.
tracing, including
COVID
our
update.
national, investigation
Ashley
and tracing
Bloomfield
centre
is
here at the
talking.
Ministry, and all the public health units are supporting Auckland Regional Public Health with case and contact.
Yeah, I
follow-up.
bet it was a ride.
On locations of interest, as I said, most of
Sheldon.
the cases identified
Sheldon.
so far are in their 20s.
All I
They've
think
been
of
out and
is-
about a lot, and I'm flagging that there
That's
will be large
Sheldon
numbers
from
of
the show.
locations of interest.
Sorry.
It is very important that everybody keeps an eye on these. We endeavour always to notify locations of interest or premises ahead of making this information public. However, speed is of the essence, and we may not always be able to do that. There are 2 locations of interest. I don't have the details.
Did you guys
on, but I
catch
want
what
to
Jason
signal
said in
these
the beginning? I
locations
caught
because they are
point
important,
3.
and they've just come to our
Yeah,
notice.
Big Bang
One
Theory
is
things.
Auckland Central
Yeah, you
Church
get that all the
Christ
time.
in
Sorry.
Freeman's Meads in Freeman's Bay.
I love the show,
on
by
this
the way,
last
and
Sunday.
Sheldon was the
So
highlight.
please look out for the time that you may have been there if you've been at that location. And the other is the Sky City Casino. I understand that was Saturday evening, perhaps.
I'm
early
glad I
hours of
could help
Sunday
you with
morning.
your homesickness.
Again, if you were in either of those locations,
It
look
is
out.
really great
But
here,
I'm
but we're
asking
trapped here
everybody
right now.
to regularly check the locations of interest that will be updated
Yep.
as more information comes to hand. Healthline is again playing a major
Healthline
role.
is
It's
available.
increased its workforce, has many people on duty, with and as anticipated a big increase.
Have you
in
guys had to
calls,
call the
more than
helpline? I had to
2,000
call the
since
helpline
midnight
on the
last
last one.
night.
I started getting
On
sick,
track
and I
to
was like,
the highest call volume
should I
this
call the
year.
helpline? So I
Please
did, but she
do
kind of
restrict
laughed
the
at me
calls
like,
to
you don't have
Helpline
anything, you're
just
fine.
for advice about testing. You can
Okay,
find
just wanna do
information
my
about where
job.
to get tested on the HealthPoint website. That's
In New
healthpoint.co.nz.
Zealand, like, you can leave New Zealand, but you can't get back
In
in.
terms of testing centres in Auckland,
So
all
that's
centres
the
are up
trapped
and operating
feeling.
again today with extended hours, and that's through to 8 p.m.
Okay, Graham,
There's
what do
been
you think
high
the real
demand
truth
on one or
is?
2 of those centres. There is pastoral
What's
care
the
in
real
place
truth?
with management of the queues, provision of water, and some people have been
Hi,
moving off,
Caitlin. Hi.
nearby testing centres that are not quite so busy. So that's been actively managed. Testing is underway in Thames and Coromandel towns, and that includes 2 pop-up testing sites and additional.
Yeah, like, we
testing
haven't been in
centres
level
are being
4
stood
for
up right
over
across
a
the
year.
district.
So, like, it's been a
All
long time.
DHBs right around the Motu are ensuring that there is good access to testing over these coming days, which will be important.
Yeah. Any other changes?
Can I reiterate, it's important that the right people access testing at this point in the outbreak. That is anyone who
True,
is symptomatic or who has been at a
Get
location
tested.
of interest.
There we are.
Otherwise, the most important thing you can do is stay at home in your bubble. Just on wastewater testing, the most recent results of wastewater testing samples taken at Rosedale on Auckland's North Shore are
Wastewater
expected later
testing.
today, and we will provide an update when they come through. There is daily testing now being taken from that site and sites
Interesting.
across Auckland.
Did I
Composite
realize
sampling
this?
of Whitianga and Coromandel Town has been set up today, with further samples in Coromandel at Pawanui, Tairua and Whangamata, and the sampling at Thames gets underway tomorrow as well. The first results of that sampling will be due through on Friday.
Oh, yeah,
And there
maybe
is
Delta's
wastewater testing
waterborne.
at
That's a good
26
question.
other
I
sites
don't know.
already underway across New Zealand, and that will continue. 2 other comments quickly.
Hi,
It is very
Coco.
important that if you need acute medical care, you seek that. Hospitals are open. If it's an emergency, dial 111 or go straight to the emergency
Hi,
department
Oklahoma.
at your
Thanks
nearest
for
hospital.
reaching out. Thank you for
GPs
watching. That's so
and
nice.
Healthline
Everybody's
are
so
also,
nice.
working and and so you should seek advice
Okay.
from them. In the
Seek
first
advice.
instance, ring your GP
Yep,
to
yep,
get
yep,
advice.
yep. We are,
And
for those
also
of you that
remind
don't know, we're
pharmacies that
watching
are
the
also
Prime
open
Minister's live
during a
COVID
local
update every day at 1 p.m. This is
Finally,
what
I
happens
just
in
want
New
to thank
Zealand
both
if
the
you don't
New
live
Zealand
here.
Nurses Organisation and Nearest,
So we're hearing the
midwife
health,
unions for
what
ending
is
Queen's
Ashley
withdrawal
Bloomfield's
strike
title?
action that was planned for
Health
tomorrow over the last 18 months.
person,
Both
director,
nurses
or
and
something.
midwives have been instrumental in our overall response, and nurses are often the first port of call for anyone accessing health services. I want to thank
Oh,
both
interesting.
professions for
I
the
did
hard
not
work
know
they have put
this.
in and will continue to support the
About the
efforts I know
wastewater.
over,
Read the
coming
comments
days.
if you want to
Thank
know.
Prime Minister.
Can you guys
Thank
see
you,
all that?
Dr.
Yeah, you can see the
Bloomfield.
comment.
As you can hear, we have a number of high-risk events already as part of this outbreak, including a school, casino and medical facility. That is why following the rules for level 4 is just so important. So far, as you will have heard from Dr. Bloomfield, our contact tracers are reporting that when they are calling people,
Can you
who have
guys
been
hear Jacinda
exposed,
talking?
they are at home.
I think so,
I need
right?
everyone to think about what it would be like to receive that call. If you do, we need you to be at home, not out putting others at risk.
Yeah,
We
stay
very
home, people.
unfortunately need only to look at New South Wales, who today have reported 633 cases. 92 were active in the community.
Director
while
General of
infected.
Health, thank you.
Level 4 restrictions are there to protect everyone and to make this lockdown as short as possible. For our essential workers, it is really
True.
critical that
Marlene,
if
so
you are
true.
sick, you stay home and that you get a test. And we will be making sure that we highlight this message to your employers also, so they can support you to do just that.
Sick.
Let me come then to decisions that have been made to
All right,
provide
decisions.
extra protection for those who are working during level 4.
Oh.
Earlier this week, Cabinet had made decisions on mask use. Ministers with power to act met again this morning to confirm those decisions and ensure they had the coverage we would expect. From 11:50 p.m. tonight, it will be mandatory for everyone aged 12 and over to wear a mask when they are visiting any of the essential services that are currently open, including supermarkets, pharmacies, and service stations.
Mask
There
it.
will also
I thought
be a
that
requirement
already
for
was.
staff who work in those places to wear a mask also. This is about ensuring those
I was like the
workers are
only
protected
one wearing a mask
and
at the food
ensuring
store
those who
yesterday.
visit them are too.
Like, just because it's not till
As you know,
midnight
it's
doesn't mean you
already a
shouldn't.
requirement to wear a mask on public transport and planes, and that will now include
Yeah,
places
it's
like
true.
bus terminals and also taxis. Simply put, at level 4, if you're in a place that is allowed to be open to provide services to people,
Wear a
or
mask. It seems
transport,
obvious.
you must wear a mask. That then brings me to the next area I wanted to cover in the briefing today, and that is vaccinations. First, some good news.
Good
A
news.
bright spot, 55,688 doses were given out yesterday, a new daily record for our vaccination program. You'll know, though, that yesterday we paused vaccinations. That was to allow DHBs to implement their contingency plans for level 4. All DHBs had plans in place to continue the vaccination rollout during alert level 4, and those are now being activated. Some vaccination in limited sites will restart this afternoon. The most important message is
Let's
that from
get
8 a.m. tomorrow,
Vaccinated. Okay.
the vaccination program will resume throughout New
Okay.
Zealand.
8 a.m. tomorrow.
This will look a bit
Boom,
different though.
boom.
Vaccination sites will be operating under alert
Boom,
level
boom.
4 conditions. And that means in some cases, they won't necessarily have as many people coming through as they may have prior. That is to enable social distancing and safety. If you're one of the bookings that we need to move to ensure that we have a bit more space, you will receive notification. Otherwise, the message is simple. If you're booked for a vaccine tomorrow or the next day or the next day, and you haven't heard anything, please go. As you can hear, for the most part, we're intending to continue our rollout as planned. That means continuing to open up age bands for bookings. So from today, as we had previously planned, those aged 40 plus can visit bookmyvaccine.co.nz to make their bookings. And if you're in that group, I encourage you to do so. It's
Book my vaccine. Do it.
Finally, one of the questions I've been asked in recent times is, do vaccines make a difference? The answer
Here we
is
go.
yes,
Selling
an
point.
enormous one. To put it bluntly, if
And-
you had the vaccine, you are less likely to catch COVID-19 and much less likely to get sick or die if you do.
Malcolm, you do have to
In fact,
talk
the
to
risk of
people like they're
infection,
children
according to
because
CDC,
the average
is
person,
reduced threefold
not real bright.
in vaccinated people. But a few people do still get infected. We call those breakthrough infections. And people with breakthrough infections can transmit the virus. That's why we do still ask everyone to be cautious, no matter what your vaccine status is. To conclude, a reminder that we are asking people who might not have been at home when lockdown began to move to the place where they will be for the remainder of lockdown as soon as possible. If you have flights booked for today and tomorrow that you're no longer able to use, please cancel them. We've had reports from Air New Zealand of high numbers of no-shows for flights, which is understandable. Some of those bookings will be perhaps for holidays people won't be able to take or for work that they can't undertake.
You want to go on a
But by
cruise ship?
cancelling them, you enable someone who may
No way.
need to get home to take that seat. Otherwise, I'll finish where I started with a thank you. When I asked Commissioner Costa on our call this morning how it was looking in terms of people doing the right thing, the response was pretty good. And Commissioner Costa will be here
Nice job,
to
New
that
Zealand.
shortly. But if we turn pretty good into great, that will end this outbreak more quickly. I know Delta is making people feel anxious and more afraid.
I know. When they tell
And
you
it
not to
is
do
true
something, it
that
makes
we
you want to do
will
it.
see more cases. But we can get on top of this, just like we have.
Okay, so no
every
update to
other
the 3
time
days.
If we do it together. We're now happy to take your questions.
Thank you. Can we anticipate, further high-risk events? And what is the increased risk with them? Is there any modelling about how many more cases we might see?
No, look, I haven't received any modelling at this time, but usually there are those who, once we are a little further along in outbreaks, generally do start producing some estimates. I think from the
Joshua, are you
experience of what
talking to
we're
me?
seeing overseas,
You think I was the
we are
prom queen?
absolutely
No.
anticipating
You talk
more
about
cases.
Jacinda?
But as our contact tracers
I'm
made it
assuming
clear to
not.
us today, they said
Okay, well, some of the first couple
for going
questions.
into level 4, it makes their job that much easier. It means we're in a much less risky position as we identify high-risk events. Dr. Goodfield?
Just 2 comments there. As I pointed out,
Yeah.
most of the
Oh,
people
okay.
who are cases already are in
Thanks,
the 20s.
Michael. Thanks.
So we're expecting.
Okay, so I'm going to
large number of
pause this. Anyway, what do you guys think? What's our reaction? What are our thoughts? Are we okay with this? I guess what choice? Oh man, I gotta go to a work meeting at 2. Is it already 1:30? Anyway, yeah, the first couple questions are generally pretty good. Yeah, you're honestly fine. I'm honestly fine. I like the extra time. I like being stuck together. I still like people in my family. Maybe different after 3 days, but gamers are isolating anyway. Yes, I'm sure all my kids would like to just play games all day, trying to get them to do stuff since schools aren't really having them do anything today. But yeah, so anyway, it was fun to be honest with you guys and watching it live. Maybe we should do this every day. Maybe we'll do it like, on days that we think it'll be a big deal. But anyway, I don't want to keep you if you want to watch the questions. So just to reiterate, my YouTube video is going to come out early this week on Friday, just because I have it done. I think 7 o'clock on Friday. Check out my new American recipe book, kiwiamericans.com. Click shop. It's $8. It's an ebook, and everything's been adjusted for New Zealand, Australia ingredients and temperatures and that sort of thing. And it's really cool. I like it. And I've gotten really great feedback. People really like it. So a great time during lockdown to try a new recipe. Yes, as long as you have the ingredients, I guess. So check that out. And yeah, so message me also what you think should be some fun topics to do with Christy coming up. And I will be on live again because this was great.